Mickey 17 is Funhouse Mirror Dune. Hello and welcome back to Ruben Uncut. Today, I'm reviewing the movie Mickey 17. Now, if you saw my intro, which you probably saw, which is more likely you saw than the rest of the video, according to statistics, I would describe Mickey 17 as Funhouse Mirror Dune, or Dune for people who think that Dune is too serious and doesn't have enough levity in it. Because allow me to describe the movies to you. Okay. So Dune is basically a deconstructionist sci-fi intergalactic space opera thriller about a white messiah who appears on an alien planet via religious propaganda and explores the concept of how you can't trust religion. Meanwhile, people live on a desert and they get high off of giant worm feces. The whole thing is basically a takedown of the Messiah complex and religious institutions as a whole. Mickey 17 is a satirical look at space colonization, the Trump administration, religious nationalism. It follows a clone as he tries to figure out the situation on an ice planet inhabited by pill bugs. Oh, and everyone gets high off of flamethrower fuel. If you heard how those are both very different movies, but also like strangely different in that way where it looks like parallels instead of like absolute differences, congratulations, you're on board. Mickey 17 is, of course, from directed by Bong Joon Ho. I have no idea if I'm saying that right. It's very possible that I just tried to say a Korean name with Japanese inflection. But let's move along. Mickey 17 is, of course, based on a book called Mickey 7. The movie essentially follows Robert Pattinson, aka Mickey Barnes, a man trying to get away from Earth because he's had trouble with the mob. And also, so basically he signs up to be a quote-unquote expendable. It's a job that no one else who's going to space really wants because it's kind of fucked up. Essentially, they get legal permission to copy your DNA and memories and then just reprint you every time that you die. Now, I'm going to be straight up here. Robert Pattinson is fantastic in the film. Robert Pattinson went from being an actor who I had completely written off, primarily because he came to fame in the friggin' Twilight movies, which I've never seen. Leave a comment down below if you would like me to watch all the Twilight movies and then review them. But I'd written Robert Pattinson off for essentially playing that fluffy role. And man, was I fucking wrong about Robert Pattinson. Holy shit. Everything I've seen him in, he's fucking great. Whether it's The Lighthouse, whether it's The Batman, whether it's Tenet, or this fucking movie, Robert Pattinson fucking delivers. It's pretty great. And in this movie, he basically plays a whole bunch of different versions of Mickey. Although, in fairness, the film only looks at the differences in real closeness between Mickey 17 and Mickey 18. Their differences are very clear. Mickey 18, for whatever reason, has come out kind of psychopathic, or at least in a state of mind where his solution to every problem is, I bet we could murder that guy. Mickey 17 is a much softer, gentler gentleman who does not have the same viewpoints as Mickey 18. But essentially, him and his friend Steven Yeun got in trouble with the mob back on Earth, and now they are going to space. Get away from all of that noise, like I said before. Steven Yeun's character is also pretty entertaining. He's essentially the trickster friend, the one who's always somehow getting into trouble, but then getting out of trouble almost as easily. Yeah, he's that guy. And he is annoying as fuck at several points, but also very funny. Steven Yeun does a great job, is what I'm saying. To be fair, though, everyone in this is great. And if you want my short, no spoilers, it's completely spoilers-free review, then it's very simply this. Mickey 17 is almost as good as Snowpiercer. But in fairness to Mickey 17, I've seen Snowpiercer several times, and the movie got better every single time I watched it. I've only seen Mickey 17 once. For all I know, if I watch it again and again, it might get better than Snowpiercer. Don't know yet. Only seen it once. There are a number of other. The film is full of lots of great performers and performances. Although a lot of the characters are not quite as in the spotlight as others. Of course, Robert Pattinson is right up there in front. Stephen Yeun getting a decent amount of screen time. But of course, I would be remiss if I failed to mention Naomi Ackie. I assume that's how her name is said. She plays Nasha Bridge. I'm sorry, Nasha Barrage. See, I can fuck up white sounding names too. But anyways, she plays Nasha Barrage, and she is essentially Mickey 17's love interest. And on the crazy scale, she's somewhere between Mickey 17 and Mickey 18. She doesn't think murder is the solution to everything, but she is clearly willing to get a little bit looser than Mickey 17 is. And their love story is really sort of a central part of the film. I'm not going to lie, there was a part in the movie where I wasn't sure if that's where it was going to go. I thought they were throwing some levels of doubt on her character. But she comes through into a strong romantic relationship anyway. There's also a scientist played by Patsy Farron called Dorothy. Or at least, wait. Yes, I think that's the actor. I think it is. They look different in their Google picture than they do in the movie. Of course, Robert Pattinson is not the only great performance in the movie, because the film also needs an antagonist, and that antagonist is played by Mark Ruffalo as Kenneth Marshall, a character who is already confirmed to be based on Donald Trump, according to the director. Although, in fairness, he got some Elon Musk in him too, for sure. But Mark Ruffalo does a fantastic job playing a cartoonish villain, similar to how he did in Poor Things. Mark Ruffalo plays a very effective villain, but not just a villain, but a comedic villain. And he looks like he's having a hell of a time as the character also. His wife is played by Toni Collette, who doesn't really feel like Melania, but she still plays a pretty impeccable character. Google, what the fuck? You have Toni Collette listed as actress. I'm pretty sure the president's wife had a name in that movie. And thanks to you, Google, I don't know what it is. Mark Ruffalo as Kenneth Marshall's character has a lot of clear signs that the film is heavily satirizing the Christian nationalist movement and essentially implying the Christian nationalist movement is ultimately Nazis. In fact, it's pretty obvious that the bad guys are Nazis if you really know anything about Nazis. For starters, they named their colony Niflheim, which I'm not going to lie, when Mark Ruffalo says it, really sounds like he's saying Nippelheim, but that's pretty Viking-y. And then you have his little toady running around who does not look at all like his Google picture, so I hope I'm pegging the correct actor here. I think it's Daniel Hinchell as Preston. I think that's I think that's the correct actor. If I'm wrong, please leave a comment in the comments. But basically, he plays a little Nazi toady with a stud right here and a shaved head, who goes around trying to give Mark Ruffalo all his ideas. They constantly refer to an organization back on Earth called the Church, who are big supporters of Mark Ruffalo and whose symbol is definitely meant to look Nazi-ish. It's not a swastika, but like it's clear where they were going with it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. The film has a rather long opening, sort of expositional part where it's explaining it. One has to assume that the book probably went into a lot more detail about these specific things, because the major plot of the film or story doesn't really engage until we are on the planet. And the film does need to fill us in on what's going on Earth before Mickey leaves Earth. So there's a little bit of The film does it well. It's not like there's some like just scroll of text or like we just get one long narration over like a backdrop of outer space. No. The film has a consistent storytelling style throughout, which is Mickey doing sort of a narration, the good kind of narration, while we get to see non-linearly the events that occurred, but not in like a Quentin Tarantino way, but in more of a way where like it makes sense to the context of the film. It's not, I wouldn't describe the film as a whole as non-linear, is what I'm saying. But like there is a non-linear element to some of the flashbacks and the way that some of the information is delivered to us. Moving along. But the acting is fantastic across the board. Toni Collette, Stephen Yeun, Robert Pattinson, Mark Ruffalo, Naomi Aki. Stephen Park has a small but solid role in the film. But I haven't even gotten to the major juxt of the story because yes, like Dune, it is about space colonization. Also, like Dune, it takes place on a planet with psychic bugs. Although in this case, instead of giant sandworms, it's a bunch of giant pill bugs that live under the ice. Now, in fairness, the planet is not, in fact, actually totally frozen. It apparently does have some sort of like spring cycles where some of the ice melts, and there is apparently some type of plant life. But that's not really super important to the plot at all. Why they decide to land on a planet made of ice, not sure. But the big deal is that Robert Pattinson's character has come to this planet for the sole purpose of not just like doing the jobs that are too dangerous to send someone who might die, but in actually developing technology to survive on the planet. For example, he goes out on the planet first to breathe in the air and discover if there are any deadly bacteria, at which point he is then used to make a vaccine. And they just keep killing him over and over again until they find a way to prevent him from getting the disease, and then they have an effective vaccine. He is essentially the guinea pig for living on this new planet. Fantastic science fiction stuff, really, if you think about it. And the film is really looking at sort of like the moral and legal consequences of this type of cloning. Because ultimately, it is cloning. The human printing concept is a form of cloning. And the question becomes, are they the same person or separate people? Legally on Earth, and actually the belief that Kenneth Marshall seems to carry with him, is that one soul, one body, meaning that there can only be one clone at a time. You can't have multiples. You can only clone a person after they're dead, etc. The film is not here to tell us whether or not there are souls or not souls, or if we have consciousness. But it is here to make you ask the question, is that how it works? And then the film proceeds to show us some of the differences between the different Mickeys. Like I said, Mickey 18, a little bit crazier than Mickey 17. Now, Mickey 17, what happens to him is he falls through the ice. Basically, they deem it too inefficient to save him, so they leave him to die there and go back home to print him out again. However, what ends up happening is that he is in fact rescued by the strange pill bugs. The pill bugs rescue him, and he is confused by this. He's like, why aren't they eating me? Because all the humans assume that the pill bugs are wild animals that will consume them. Of course, it turns out that the pill bugs are in fact super intelligent, psychic, and linked to each other at all times. And also can make your eyeballs explode. And I have to stress the fact that this movie is a comedy. It is a very funny satirical film about space travel and, Trump. And in fairness, the Trump metaphors work significantly better than the Trump metaphors do in Captain America: Brave New World. I know I said that it's dubious whether or not those are actual Trump metaphors, but if you read Brave New World as Trump metaphor, it's really problematic. It's really politically dumb and problematic and overly idealistic in a lot of ways. Not here. Here, the metaphors and satire land pretty much spot on. Some might even say a little on the nose. But anyways, Mickey 17 comes back from being rescued by the bugs. By the way, we are technically in the spoilery section. This is me going over more of the plot and storyline of the film. Although I'm not actually going to go through the plot. A lot of people misunderstand the difference between plot and story. And if I did a total breakdown of the plot, this would just be like a series of bulletin points of things that happen in the film in the order they happen in. That would be a plot. The story, though, is what the film is about and what messages the story is trying to convey. And Mickey 17 does a pretty good job of this. But like I was saying, Mickey 17, saved by the pill bugs, he comes on back, discovers that they've already printed out a new version of him before he could get back alive. However, he knows that multiples are illegal. So him and his girlfriend and Mickey 18 initially tries to kill him because they know that they will be erased if the multiples are discovered, even if the multiples are created by accident. So they try and kill each other for a minute, and then Mickey 18 tries to kill Timo. That's Stephen Yeun's character, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff happens. But essentially, the point is that now they have a dilemma because if they're discovered, they will be killed and erased. However, Mickey 18 has also decided that he should just kill Kenneth Marshalls. Just fucking blow his brains out. Which causes a problem because it causes them to get caught. Then there's a whole hullabaloo about what to do about that. However, the big deal is that Kenneth Marshall also wants to exterminate all the pill bugs. And we soon discovered at a certain point that one of the things that they've been doing that have been experimenting on Mickey 17 weren't just to create vaccines, but also to create a severe nerve gas to try and create it to wipe out the native population, these pill bugs, from the planet. However, Mickey 17 and his girlfriend are now very aware that the pill bugs save humans. They are not interested in harming us. Or at least they're not interested in harming us before the humans kill one of the pill bugs' babies and also kidnap another one of their babies, which prompts the pill bugs to become very aggressive and start circling the spaceship, which causes all the humans to freak out, but only Mickey 17 really knows what to do. Someone in science manages to make an alien translator, very useful piece of technology, really, to which Mickey 17, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it's like the same piece of technology they had in Snowpiercer. Did these movies take place in the same universe? I don't know. But anyways, Mickey 17 and Mickey 18 are sent out to retrieve tails of these strange creatures because Toni Collette's character wants to turn their tails into sauces because she is obsessed with sauces, which actually sounds like a joke Neil Brennan made about how meat is just a sauce delivery system. I think Neil Brennan is vegetarian or vegan, actually. The Mickey 17 and Mickey 18 are sent out there and they're going to do their thing. But of course, instead of cutting off the tails of these creatures, they immediately go and start communicating with the mother pill bug and work out what needs to be done to make sure that the pill bugs don't kill all the humans. Because the pill bugs are kind of making it sound like they're going to kill all the humans by making their heads explode. They used the word extinction. But anyways, Mickey 17, of course, doesn't want that to happen. So he gets his girlfriend to go rescue the pill bug, and then she comes out with the baby. And it all ends with a final fight between Mark Ruffalo's character and Mickey 18, who heroically sacrifices himself, killing both himself and Kenneth Marshall, who kind of had to die anyways, because the pill bugs were like, yeah, you need to kill one human to make it even. So they ended up killing two humans. Mickey 18 killed himself with Kenneth Marshall. Honestly, love the film. It's fucking fantastic. It's probably the best movie I've seen so far. Hold on. I think Companion is still my favorite movie I've seen this year so far. But if a repeat viewing of either film could potentially flip that. Mickey 17 and Companion, easily the best movies I've seen so far this year. Currently, they are the two films that are in the running for my top films that I think are pretty safe there. I mean, the year's just starting, so we'll see. But honestly, love Mickey 17. Thought it was great. It didn't blow my mind to quite the same extent that Companions did at certain points. But honestly, both films are wonderful works of science fiction. And any science fiction fan should definitely go see them. Mickey 17, I don't think you need to go as blind into Mickey 17, but definitely Companion and Mickey 17, both from Warner Brothers of all companies, both very risky projects, are both totally worth seeing. Warner Brothers, I got a lot of bones to nitpick with you, but Mickey 17 and Companion starting the year strong. Not necessarily at the box office, but in terms of artistic content, fucking killing it. Hope Superman's good. So yeah, definitely go see Mickey 17. What are you doing? You should have already gone and seen it. Go see it. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in to this review of Mickey 17. Please like and subscribe. Like I said, leave a comment if there's anything you would like. If there's anything you want me to review, please leave a comment. Doesn't have to be new, it can be old shit. I don't mind. I'm trying to get myself to do a video where I compare Love Lies Bleeding with the Drive Away dolls. Is that the name of that movie? You know, there's two movies that both look like they're by the Coen brothers, but only one of them is by the Coen brothers, and it's actually just one of the Coen brothers and his wife. The point is, they were two lesbian romance crime dramas that came out, crime movies that came out last year, and I've seen them both, and I'm trying to work on a comparison. But the point is, leave a comment about something you'd like me to see me review. I'm totally open to suggestions. All right. Thank you for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz, like I said before. And if you want to contact the program, you can email me at rubenuncut@gmail.com. Have a wonderful whatever, whoever, wherever you are.